This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual
glorification of Western religion,
sanctioned by
the Church, and all of the folks who believe in spiritual beings.
Class 4 and lower have been authorized for use during the
analyzation of angelic figures.
All other weapons are restricted. Government officials of ranking 10 have been granted immunity from
mortality
and shall not be harmed. Commencing at the siren, any and all crime, including murder, will be legal for 12 continuous hours. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be unavailable until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. when the purge concludes. Blessed be our new founding fathers. May God be with you.
Put my glasses on. Now I can see. Now I can fight. All right. So this podcast episode is going to be about angels. What are angels? What are they? Are they like deities? Are they like flying around beings? Are they kind of like, you know, like little freaks, little freakalinks, you know? No, I'm saying, baby. Or are they, I'm just going to say crisscross applesauce. Is that a good way to podcast? Who knows? Oh yeah, I gotta scoot close. No, it wasn't. It wasn't like much of core exercise either, but angels, talk about it. No, I mean, you listen to it. There's no conversation to be had. Unless you want to have a conversation after, you can check out my Medium. You could also check out the blog post. You can also check out Apple News. I'm going to post the scripts and invite and insight and instigate some, I was going to say playful conversation. It's not going to be playful at all. Especially if you're atheist or Gnostic, am I right? You don't have any views, baby. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. That was bad. That was wrong of me. Anyways, this is a podcast about stuff. It's just a conversation. It's one-sided conversation, basically. Just features me talking about things. I actually do most of the research, script writing, and editing. So if anything's wrong, I will update the episode by republishing it and then shaming you publicly on social media. Without further here's the disclaimer, because we need to do a disclaimer every time, because I say really inappropriate things sometimes, but most of the time. So angels. Well, first things first, everyone.
Problematic philosophies does contain problematic humor.
Who's this?
Watch your profanity.
Right, I'm sorry.
Silly satire.
No, God!
And crude humor and silly satire.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
You have a problem with any of these things, then hop off this podcast, because you're not going to enjoy anything if you are atheist or agnostic, or you just hate religion. Well, listen anyways, because I could just tell you something you don't know about.
On the last episode, whatever the last episode was for you, I'm not really sure, unless you're listening to a different podcast. If it was my podcast, that's awesome. Thank you for listening. Honestly, I'm genuinely, honestly, I really appreciate all those listeners that kind of just hop on and off, just update it. It's okay. You don't have to get a binge going on or anything, but I really do appreciate if you listen to a few episodes, any episode that you are interested in or want to learn about. You don't have to listen to them sequentially or anything. You could listen to the interviews if you're more into learning about these awesome folks that honor me with the time to talk to them and get to know their stories about whether it's drugs, their philosophies on science and space, astral projection, dreams, different conscious realities. Wow, all that sounds kind of boring, but anyways, they like to talk about it. I just kind of listen. I'm like, all right, cool. Here's a platform, because you can't make your own fucking podcast, I guess. No, because there's a lot of podcasts coming out. I know Let's see, who's making a podcast? I know Giannine is making a podcast. Kiana is making a podcast. Skylar's also going to be. So everyone has a fucking podcast now. Different subjects, different formats, of course. Check them all out. I'll just go ahead and update that on the blog. But for now, we're gonna get into some wild shit. You know what I'm saying? Some wild ones. That's the one. Oh god. So angels, what is there? Is there lore of angels? Well, yeah, every religion has a little bit of lore in them, just like every person has a little bit of whore in them. No, that's horrible to say. I didn't mean to say that at all. I just said it. Just the little goblin took off. The fact that God has created a realm of personal beings other than mankind is a fitting topic for systematic theological studies, for it naturally broadens our understanding of God, of what he's doing, and how he works in the universe. The study of angels, also referred to as angelology, and is one of the 10 major categories of theology developed in many systematic theological work. So why have we gone from gearing angels to growing an eagerness to witness their miraculous wonder? Since when has our culture glorified and deified angels into fascination and romanticization of their awesome power? The interest in angels is due in part to pendulum swings society. And in the past, society has swung from the gross mystical speculation of the Middle Ages to the rationalism of the late 1800s and early 1900s. Due to part of the failure of rationalism and materialism to give answers and meaning to life, the emptiness of man's heart, along with the futility of his pursuits, has given rise to the interest in the mystical and enigmatic supernatural and in the spiritual. And the pendulum now swings back in the angel's favor in the New Age movement, the occult, and in cults. So belief in Satan, demons, and angels is more and more commonplace today, used as a substitute for a relationship with God through Christ. This predisposition is not because people are believing the Bible, but rather because of the rise of occult phenomenon, the futility of life without God. Now here are some quick facts. Oh, yeah, I know. Facts about, number 1, they are created by God. Number 2, they report directly to God. Number 3, they are named 273 times in 34 of the books of the Bible. Number 4, they were present at the creation. Number 5, they announced the birth of Jesus to the shepherds. Number 6, they were created to live forever. Number 7, their heavenly work is to worship God and glorify him. Number 8, their earthly work is to help God's people. Number 9, they're numberless like a legion. Number 11, they possess free will. You heard it here, folks. They possess free will. You ever just wish you had free will? Well, as humans, you have, what's it called? Determinism, I forgot what's called. Predetermination. Anyways, number 12, they express joy. Number 13, they express longing. Number 14, they are mighty. Number 15, they are wise. Number 16, they move swiftly. Number 17, some are cherubim, an order of angels. Number 18, some are seraphim, are winged angels. Number 19, they do not know everything. And number 20, they will join all Christians in the heavenly Jerusalem. Only Christian, I guess. So, anyways, religions that acknowledge the existence of angels.
Judaism.
In Judaism, angels are often placed in a specific hierarchy, forming in ranks that proceed from the highest to the lowest order. For example, the Chayat HaKodesh is considered the highest of 10 ranks mentioned in the writings of the great medieval Jewish philosopher Moses Maimonides. Judaism also recognizes specific angels, with Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel being among the most commonly recognized. Islam. Angels in Islam, or Malakah, play an essential role as messengers and intermediaries from Allah to the world, beginning with the angel Jabril, or Gabriel, who revealed the Quran, Islam's holy book, to the Prophet Muhammad. Angels do not have a real physical shape, so though at certain times angels may materialize in different forms, in dreams or in visions, but their true form is incomprehensible to humans. And the intervention of angels with humans, the interaction at least, is every person has 2 guardian angels. You heard that here? 2 guardian angels. Angels watch and record everything people do, kind of like a hidden camera crew. Maybe, like going into oh my God, think about it. Y'all ever watch that movie, The Truman Show? Perhaps the form of recording and observing is so similar to that of how Jim Carrey was observed and studied and recorded and broadcasted to a whole worldwide. Perhaps. Who knows?
You're not even
Not
vague.
really. So, Catholicism has angels. Mormonism. Angels are described in the Doctrine and Covenant as being one of the two kinds of bodies within heaven. They're described as resurrected personas. Persona gays. They're considered by Mormons to be messengers of God and quote unquote ministering spirits. And in that form, their angels are either ministering spirits or more evolved human beings who have flesh and bone, which is really weird because they're not supposed to depict humans at all. Mormons, you got something going on. Well, intervention within Mormons, or their belief at least. The Latter-day Saints believe that angels can appear to people in a very literal sense, but not necessarily that each person has a specifically assigned guardian angel. Angels serve to advance the work of the Lord through giving instruction or authority for specific tasks, as was the case with the founding of the Mormon religion. Angels can also impart comfort, warning, protection, or even knowledge, but never in a way that interferes with humans' free will, since they have their own free will. So they have, we'll get into this later, but I think something about the hidden agenda within angels. The angel agenda. Mormons believe that the, quote, whispering of the Holy Ghost, end quote, is a more common and ultimately more effective way in which God communicates with individuals. So what are some important angels? Well, Mormons believe that their founding prophet, Joseph Smith, was visited by an angel, Moroni, who led him to the Book of the Mormon. Moroni was once human, the son of the prophet Mormon, who became an angel after he died. So that's also, I believe that is incorrect, sir, because you can't become an angel. You just have a spirit, but angels are different from human spirits. And that's my belief. I am absolutely correct in my beliefs because I am the final say, and this is Problematic Philosophies. Thanks for joining us. This episode will continue after this short break.
It's Toyotathon, an event so big it happens only once a year.
Tactical nuke! Incoming!
It's not just an event, it's Toyotathon. Hurry to your Toyota dealer today.
Christianity has angels, of course. Baha'i has angels. Zoroastrianism. Every person is gifted with a guardian angel called a Ravashi. And angels are believed to be the benevolent creatures who patronize not only human beings, but other creatures as well. Sikhism also has angels, and of course, indigenous beliefs. They have deities, not all, and of course, indigenous and native beliefs, but most religions around the world have a form of hierarchy of a god or deity or deities, a plural form of these omnipotent, omnipresent beings that kind of rule over the spirit realm or the world as we know it. Other forms of angel-like beings and deities in world religions. While there's Buddhism, we have the Devas, a member of a class of divine beings in the Vedic period, which is 1500 to 500 BCE, and was known as the Bronze Age and early Iron Age of the history of India. In Indian religion, they are benevolent, yet to Zoroastrianism, they're inherently evil. So there's a completely different dynamic within two different beliefs. While the Buddhist equivalent of angels is Devas, or celestial beings. Some schools of Buddhism also refer to Dharmapalas, or Dharma protectors. In Tibetan Buddhism, for instance, Devas are sometimes considered to be Bodhisattvas, I think, or inland beings. Man, I gotta work on my pronunciation. Because the script writers literally just write the script. It's in English, barely, and I just gotta read it. I gotta do my best. And it's hard because I'm illiterate, so it's very, very literal challenge. Anyways, I need to also move this to the side. There. Oh, that's so much better. Wow, I should have done that all along, doggy. Wow. All right, anyways. Let's see. Let's see. Where was I at? So they are, however, often described in physical form, and there are many of images of Devas or Dharmapalas, particularly in Tibetan Buddhist iconography. Devas normally do not interfere in human affairs, but as Buddhist teacher Lama Sorat Das notes, they have been known to rejoice, applaud like this. This is how they do it. They're like laughing, like, oh, good job, dog. You did something ethical or unethical, but we're going to applaud you anyways because we are a support system out for you, humans. And they also rain down flowers for good deeds performed in the world. In Thailand, it is believed that devas approve of people meditating and will harass people of whose behavior they don't approve of because they also have free will and they're little hooligans. Hinduism, while not specifically referred to as angels, Hinduism does have many different types of spirit beings who act in a similar capacity. One example is the minor gods, or devas, literally shining ones, who inhabit the higher astral plane. Gods, devas, planets like Sunny or Saturn, gurus or teachers, and ancestors can all, that was a weird way to say it, and ancestors, ancestor baby, can all play a protective role for humans. Also present in Hinduism are asuras, evil spirits or demons. They are fallen devas who inhabit the lower astral plane, the mental plane of existence. If asuras do good, they can be reincarnated into devas and do not have to remain eternally in that lower plane. Hinduism also includes apsaras, who are heavenly nymphs, angaris, who preside over sacrifices, and lipika, who regulate karma. Lapika. Form. Devas and apsaras are spiritual beings, but they are often depicted in physical forms. Apsaras are seductively beautiful, and the devas often look like royalty, stately and handsome. Intervention with these. Devas and asuras can inspire or bring down aspirants, helping or hindering people's spiritual journey. Important angels, not specific individual angels. What are the Native American beliefs? Deities and spirits. Native American religions often honor a vast array of deities. Some of these are creator gods, others are tricksters, deities of the hunt, and gods and goddesses of healing. The term Great Spirit is applied often in Native American spirituality to refer to the concept of an all-encompassing power, omnipresence, and omnipotence in that power. Some Native tribes actually refer to this instead as the Great Mystery. In many tribes, the entity or power has a very specific name. There are a number of spirits that also take their place among the Native American belief system. Animals in particular are known to have spirits that interact with mankind, often to guide people or offer their wisdom and other gifts. In religions without documentation or scripture. Varieties of angels and demons in the religions of the world. So let's talk about this. So the spiritual beings of undocumented religions of Asia, Africa, Oceania, and the Americas are generally viewed as malevolent or benevolent according to circumstances rather than because of their inherent nature. Eshu, a god of the Yoruba of Nigeria tribe, for example, is looked upon as a protective, benevolent spirit, as well as a spirit with an evil power that may be directed towards one's enemies. These beings possess what is called mana, or supernatural power, a Melanesian term that can be applied to both spirits and to persons of special status, such as chiefs or shamans. In these religions, the spirits of nature are generally venerated in return for certain favors, or to ward off catastrophes, much in the manner of the religion of ancient Rome. Ancestor gods abound, and thus the ghosts of the dead must be placated, often with the performance of elaborate rites. I don't even know what I'm reading anymore. Hawaiian religion, Tahitians and other Pacific Islander people. These beliefs encompass the indigenous religions, beliefs, and practices of Native Hawaiians and Polynesian folks. It is polytheistic and animistic, with a belief in many deities and spirits, including the belief that spirits are found in non-human beings and objects such as other animals, the waves, and the sky. Hawaiian religion originated among the Tahitians and other Pacific Islanders who landed in Hawaii between 500 and 1300 AD. Today, Hawaiian religious practices are protected by the American Indian Religious Freedom Act. Traditionally, Hawaiian religion is unrelated to the modern New Age practice known as Huna. The Hawaiian religion is polytheistic, with many deities, most prominently Kan, Hu, Lono, and Kanalau. Other notable deities include Laka, Kiwahin, Papahanomoku, and most famously, Pele. In addition, each family is considered to have one or more guardian spirits known as Amaku, that protect the family. One breakdown of the Hawaiian pantheon consists of the following groups. Number 1 being the 4 gods, Hu, Kan, Lono, Kanaloa. The 4 mighty male gods are aspects of Kan, Ke Kanaha. The 400 gods and goddesses, Kalau. The great multitude of gods and goddesses, Ikinakwa. The spirits, Na Unihipili. The guardians, Na Oamakawa. Another breakdown consists of 3 major groups, the 4 gods, or Aqua, Hu, Kane, Lono, Kanaloa. Many lesser gods, or Kupua, each associated with certain professions. And the guardian spirits, Amakua, associated with particular families. Let's get to the Cherokee beliefs. The Great Spirit. The Cherokee revere with the Great Spirit, Unetlanfe, or Greater, who presides over all things and created the earth. The Unetlafni. Oh, that's gonna get me. Oh, god dang, buddy. Unetlatfi. Is omnipotent. That was like kind of like a German. That was kind of like a German voice. They're omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient, and is said to have made the earth to provide for its children, and should be equal power to Dionis, the water beetle. The Wahanuahai manuscript adds that God is Una Hlahnahi, maker of all things, and Kalvliatiahi, the one who lives above. These I really have to work on the Cherokee language. Wow, the Cherokee, a very different approach to linguistics and a very different approach to speaking. And I already have a speech difficulties. So why do we even have a podcast when I have speech difficulties and a speech impediment? What the fuck? Anyways, in most oral and written Cherokee theology, the Great Spirits is not personified as having human characteristics or a physical form. Other venerated spirits, the Uktena, or horned serpent, and the Tuatnua, a giant raptor. Traditional African religions. Followers of traditional African religions pray to various spirits as well as to their ancestors. This includes also nature, elementary, and animal spirits. The difference between powerful spirits and gods is often minimal. Most African societies believe in several high gods and a large amount of lower gods and spirits. There are also religions with a single supreme being, Shukwa, Nyami, Olodumare, Nugai, Rogue, Rawan. Some recognize a dual god and goddess such as Mawelisa. Traditional African religions generally believe in an afterlife, one or more spirit worlds, and ancestral worship is an important basic concept in mostly all African religions. Some African religions actually adopted different views through the influence of Islam or even Hinduism. General terms. What does angel mean? Well, angel. 3 other terms undoubtedly referring to angels are seraphim, cherubim, and ministering spirits, which is perhaps more of the description than a name. The Hebrew word for angel is malak, and the Greek word is angelos. Angelos. Both words mean messenger and describe one who executes the purpose and will of the one whom they serve. The context must determine if a human messenger is in view, or one of the celestial beings called angels, or if it is being used of the second person of the Trinity, as will be discussed below. Here's the quote. influential messengers of God are supernatural beings who surrounded God's throne in heaven. Their work in heaven is to worship God. On earth, they are God's couriers, bringing his word and assistance to the people. Gabriel and Michael are two important angels named in the Bible, and it was Gabriel who announced the birth of Jesus. They sometimes came to people in human form, and that's 256 the Bible Almanac. Ah yeah, holy ones. The unfilled angels are also spoken of as holy ones. The reason is twofold. First, being the creation of a holy God. They were created perfect without any flaw or sin. Second, they are called holy because of their purpose. They were set apart, quote unquote, by God and for God as servants and as attendant to his holiness. I'm gonna segue real hard right now. Let's go. All right. Well, speaking on my behalf, my beliefs, going back to what I said about, not being created perfect, without flaw, without sin. Riddle me this, folks. Riddle me this right now. If angels and these higher beings are perfect, flawless, omnipresent, and benevolent, why, oh why, did Lucifer's rebellion happen? And why, oh why, are there fallen angels? Can anyone care to answer? No? That's right, because no one knows the answer except me. Because they are flawed like every creation is flawed, and sin. Because sin in itself is subjective, and flaws are up to the observer and beholder. The observer and the one judging. There's a lump in my throat, probably COVID, but who knows?
It was, in fact, COVID-19.
The host. Host is the Hebrew Sabbath, army, armies, or hosts, almost like legions. It is a military term and carries the idea of warfare. Angels are referred to as the host, which calls our attention to two ideas. First, it is used to describe God's angels as the armies of heaven, who serve in the army of God engaged in spiritual warfare. Second, it calls our attention to angels as a multitude of heavenly beings who surround beings who surround and serve God, as seen in the phrase Lord of Hosts. In addition, Sabbath sometimes includes the host of heavenly bodies, the stars of the universe, sons of God, in Western beliefs, I believe. Yeah. Though they are never spoken of as created in the image of God, they are also called sons of God because they possess personality like God. This term is also used in Genesis 6:2, which tells us the sons of God took wives from among the daughters of men, line of the Canaanites. Others, in keeping with the use of sons of God in Job, believe the term refers to fallen angels who mated with the daughters of men to produce an extremely wicked and powerful progeny that led to the extreme wickedness of Noah's day. Most who hold to this latter view find further support in 2 Peter chapter 2 verses 4 through 6 and Jude chapter 6 and 7 verse 7. While others believe they refer to despots, powerful rulers, Ross writes, "The incident is one of hubris, the proud overstepping of bounds. Here it applies the sons of God, lusty, powerful, Lot striving for fame and fertility. There were probably powerful rulers." Why am I even doing a voice for that? Who controlled by fallen angels in the world. It may be that fallen angels left their inhabitation. It may be that fallen angels left their habitation and inhabited bodies of human despots and warriors, the mighty ones of the earth.
The angels of the Lord.
The second difficulty concerns the identity of the angel of the Lord as is used in the Old Testament. A careful study of the many passages use this term suggests that it is no ordinary angel, but a theophany, or better, a Christophany, a pre-incarnate appearance of Christ. The angel is identified as God, speaks as God, and claims to exercise the prerogatives of God. Still, in some passages, he distinguishes himself from Yahweh, and that's through, so many chapters and verses through Genesis, Exodus, Judgments, Samuel, Zechariah. That the angel of the Lord is a Christophany is suggested by the fact a clear reference to the angel of the Lord and ceases after the incarnation. References to an angel of the Lord in Luke chapter 1 verse 11 and chapter 2 verse 8 and Acts chapter 5 verse 19 lack the Greek article, which would suggest an ordinary angel. So what is their appearance? Well, they look freaky as fuck. They're occasionally pictured in other forms and other manifestations, as with wings, as a combination of man, beast, and birds, as in Ezekiel chapter 1 verse 5 and Isaiah chapter 6 verse 6. But apparently such manifestations only occurred by the way of a vision or special revelation from God. No angel literally appeared in such form. They also seem to always have appeared as youthful or mature men, as described in Mark chapter 16 verses 5, but never as old men. Perhaps because they neither age nor die, as referred to in Luke chapter 20, verse 36. The hierarchy of angels. There's archangels out here. Hold on, let's get some going. Let's get something going over here.
The hierarchy of angels.
Archangels. There are 7 archangels. Occupy the rays of God, of eyes of presence, and a replica of the rays of light that embody the cosmos and the consciousness we cannot see. It's also referred to as the Great Central Sun. These central color bands are worlds within worlds. These 7 rays represent the 7 rings of consciousness, and the archangels each occupy one of the 7 rays. The arcana, the divine complement of the archangel. They're emanations of God and direct extensions of God. This also is explained in the book of Exodus when Moses looked upon a burning bush. He looked at it, saw an angel, the Lord, and then it became the Lord himself. He's like, whoa, 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 Transformers! More than meets the eye. More than meets my guy, rather. You ever just look at an angel?
And you're so confused that you think it's yourself, your God? Are we all gods in ourselves? Are we reincarnates of ourselves? Are we just one spirit and one soul and one consciousness that will rule the whole galaxy, maybe the universe, the Milky Way? Oh, Milky Way, mama.
The archangels help us to balance our karma on each of these 7 rays. So just like the 7 rays, there are 7 karmic figures and features, and I don't know what I'm saying. We make karma on each of these 7 rays. We make karma on misuse or chakras. That's what I meant to say, chakras, karma. Not 7 karmas, 7 chakras. Open up your 2nd chakra, please. Easy mode. Oh my God. The 7 chakras are the same colors of the 7 rays of the archangels, and each archangel sends their angels to help balance our chakras. A chakra is a spiritual center. Its purpose is so that God, your eye of presence, can step down the light to a certain frequency. Each one of the 7 rays to the crown has a different frequency, so as the light of God is experienced through each of the 7 chakras, for instance, 1, you might think through the crown chakra, the 2nd chakra you see through the 3rd eye, 3, you exercise the power of the spoken word or the throat chakra. 4, you experience love from the heart. 5, desire in the solar plexus. 6, being the presence of the soul and intuition in the seed of the soul chakra. And 7, the white fire of the divine mother in the base chakra, which is the fount of power that rises and is the foundation of procreation and pleasure. Baby, can I get an amen? Hell yeah, open up that white fire, baby. Who are the archangels? Well, there's one archangel, Michael, and he serves on the first ray of perfection, protection, and faith. He is also said to be the most powerful and accessible on Tuesday. Not really sure how theologians and spiritualists came to that conclusion. You know, there's no citation or source needed, but they're just like, Tuesday's the day for him. I don't know if that's a Roman calendar or the pagan calendar or anything like that. I don't understand what calendar they're going on or basing this information on. Because it's like the 7 days, like I said. So it's like the 3rd day. Do the day start on Sunday for them or Monday? I'm not sure. The outer ring is blue band seals and protects the entire castle body. Each angel has a retreat where all the angels actually congregate. They have their own like little club. It's like a biker gang thing going on. They all retreat there, kind of like houses. Kind of like not like actual physical buildings or anything, but it's just like a area of space in the galaxy, I guess. And what's their role? Well, they're at a higher vibration and are here to help us transcend to heaven or guide us to spread God's messages. So here are my questions. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna have questions. My first question, ready for it?
If God created angels perfect and without sin, then how did sin manifest? With some angels during Lucifer's rebellion. Anyone have the answer? Anyone want to give a look? Are you out there? No one? No one?
All right. The answer is in another podcast called The Unholy Trinity, Satan, Lucifer, and the Devil. Check it out and check out all the other podcasts on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Pandora, Stitcher, Podbean, Google Podcast. Anywhere you can find podcasts, this podcast is going to be just taking up space. It's just going to be 5 terabytes of like dungeon porn or something like that. Like it's just like in there, invested in your brain hole. Like it's just sacked. Hopefully you'll learn something. Like I don't even know if this was educational in any way. It was definitely research, but the research was just my opinions. So hopefully that is worthy of your recognition. Follow us on social media. We only have a website blog. You'll also find these transcripts and all the research and citations on medium.com. They're going to be posted on there. Also on applenews.com or the app, whatever you want to do. Either one, not like whatever, kind of like blowing you off kind of thing. I don't like when people do that. I just think they're absolute when people say that. So that's completely incorrect of a way to communicate. Whichever app you use for your information intake, that is the app that I suggest. And that's a harder way than saying whatever you use, but whatever. There I am using it. All right. Well, go ahead and leave a 5-star rating. Nothing less and always more. Go ahead and share your favorite episode on Spotify through Instagram, because you can't really share it through anything else. Like it doesn't have that cute little square of the album art, which I designed myself. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, y'all like the album art? Y'all like that? I like that too. Oh, you don't? Oh, God. No, they don't like it out there. Fuck that guy. He always comes out. Always comes out. Well, without further ado, I descend back into my hole, the bunker. If y'all have any questions, reach out. Or don't. I question most of my research anyways. If y'all aren't very religious, I hope y'all find religion. Losing My Religion isn't actually by REM, that one band. It's not as deep as we thought. My partner and I were like looking at it, discussing it. It's not actually about losing religion. It's just like losing sight of like your belief, but not like a religious belief. So, bye.